missed it.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and Nisha, can you post it on our group then?
Yes, you sent the YouTube link. I can send that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Hari Om. Hari Om, Rohini. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshini Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayini Ambatvam Anusandhadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Gnanamaya Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Gnanamudraya Krishnaya Geetamrutade Namaha Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidussura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. Hari Om to everyone. Hari Om Neetu. Hari Om Kamala. And I think that is Pushpa. Namaste Amma. Namaste. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hope to see you on this Saturday if you're feeling better. Okay?
We'll try
I
our
like
best.
to see you.
Yeah.
Hari Om, Amma. Hari Om. So we are at today we'll be finishing all these shlokas of Bhagavad Gita today. So what we saw here that Lord Krishna, after finishing that whole teaching, he asked Arjuna, did you listen to my teaching with one pointed mind? And so if you have done that, then your moha must have gone. Has it really gone? That was in 72. Kachidetat shrutam partha tvayai kagrena chetasa kachida gnana sammoha pranashtaste dhananjaya. Has your moha gone? So what was the answer that Arjuna gave? Arjuna gave, yes, my moha is gone completely. And now I'm going to do what you have told me to do. That means my smruti has come back. So he says, Arjuna vacha nashto moha smrutir labdha tat prasadan tat prasadat maya achyuta stitosmi gata sandehaha karishye vachanam tava. So my moha, my delusion, my delusion regarding what is the right thing to do and why I was deluded, because I thought I'll be killing all my people. So that kind of delusion is already gone now, and now I'm ready to do my kartavya karma as a kshatriya. So he says, yes, I'm done. I'm going to do this one. So he must have lifted his bow and arrow now. He had dropped it in the beginning. So now he must have picked it up, and Lord Krishna is very happy and he is quiet. And now Arjuna is also quiet. At that time, Sanjaya took over. And he said in the 74th verse that we saw in the last class, Sanjaya Vacha, Ityaham Vasudevasya, Parthasya cha Mahatmanaha, Samvada Mimamashravsham, Adbhutam Romaharshana. So in this way, I heard the conversation between Vasudeva and Partha. And here, for the Partha, the Sanjaya calls him as Mahatmanaha. Okay, because he is great, because he was able to realize, the Atma Vidya, and it takes a lot of effort. And so that is the reason he's calling Arjuna as Mahatma, but not Vasudeva, because Lord is Mahatma anyway. But here Arjuna has become Mahatma with his own efforts now. Samvada Mimamashravsham. So the conversation between those two and how it was Adbhutam, it was very something that you cannot say in words, and Romaharshanam, it brought revelations to me. So now here Sanjaya is addressing Dhritarashtra back. Okay, so all these words, all these the verses that we are going to see, he is talking to Dhritarashtra now. Okay, so now continuing that one, what Sanjaya says in verse number 75 here. Vyasa prasadachrutavan, Vyasa prasadachrutavan, Etadguhyamaham param, Etadguhyamaham param, Yogam yogeshwarat krishnat, Yogam yogeshwarat krishnat, Sakshat katayata swayam, Sakshat kathayata swayam, Vyasa prasadachrutavan, Etadguhyamaham param, Yogam yogeshwarat krishnat, Sakshat kathayata swayam.
Veena-ji, would you like to read that one? Do you have the book, Veena-ji? Just trying to remember. Otherwise, Kamala-ji, would you like to read?
I'll read the next one if it's okay.
Sure, yes.
Okay, thank you. I have to pull on my phone.
Yeah, yeah.
Veena-ji, I can put it up here on the screen. Hold on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Murli-ji.
Thank you. 70,
Sorry, hold on.
75.
70,
No,
no, 76.
Sorry, hold on.
That's
hold on.
okay.
75.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Vyasat prasadat, through the grace of Vyasa, Shrutwan, I have heard, Etat, this Guhyam, secret, Aham, I, Param, supreme, Yogam, yoga, Yogeshwarat, from the Lord of Yoga, Krishnat, from Krishna, Sakshat, directly, Kathayataha, declaring, Swayam, himself. Through the grace of Vyas, I have heard this supreme and most secret yoga, directly from Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, himself declaring it.
Thank you, Veena-ji.
Hari
Thank
Om.
you. Hari Om. So, even the Gita Dhyanam, the very first shloka, we say Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. That Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana himself taught Partha. So that's what he's here. Sanjay is also saying. So here Sanjay is very thrilled to listen to this dialogue between that infinite Lord and that finite mortal Arjuna. And he acknowledges here Vyasaji's grace. And so he bows down to Vyasa Maharshi with gratitude. So Vyasa Prasadat Shrutavan. So he says, through the grace of Vedavyasji, I have heard this one. Sanjaya, is saying, even though the teaching was not for Sanjaya, the teaching was for Arjuna. Okay, but he was able to listen to that also. That is because of the grace of Vedavyasji only. So here, we see that Arjuna tells Bhagavan, Tvat Prasada, because of your grace, I understood this whole teaching. And here, Sanjay is telling Vyasa Prasada, because of the grace of Vyasa. What is this grace that he received? Adi Shankaracharya says, Tataha Divya Chakshu Labhat. So where he got the Divya Chakshu, he gained those Divya Chakshu. So Sanjaya says, because of the Divya Chakshu, because of the Prasada of Veda Vyasji, I was able to hear this dialogue between Bhagavan and Arjuna here. And just like Arjuna was blessed in the 11th chapter, we saw by Lord Krishna, those Divya Chakshu, Sanjaya was also blessed with Divya Chakshu by Vyasamuni. Vyasamuni had blessed him with that one. So most of you know the story how Sanjaya got the Divya Chakshu. So it was the day before the war. At that time, Vyasamuni comes and visits Dhritarashtra. And with Dhritarashtra was sitting Sanjaya. Sanjaya was his Dhritarashtra's charioteer, and he was the most faithful servant of Dhritarashtra. So Vyasamuni says to Dhritarashtra, who was a barren blind person, I am able to give you that kind of a eyes where you can see what is happening on the battlefield in Kurukshetra, even though sitting 100 miles away from that place. But Dhritarashtra does not want it. Why? Because he knows his children, Kauravas, are fighting on the Adharma side. And he knows they are going to lose. And he knows all of them are going to perish also. So he does not have that heart to see his children being killed on the battlefield. So he tells Vedavyasji, okay, why don't you give those Divya Chakshu to Sanjaya, my servant here, my charioteer here. So he can tell me what is going on the battlefield. So Sanjaya got the Divya Chakshu there. So Sanjaya was very, very loyal servant to Dhritarashtra until the end. But he had very soft corner for Pandavas because he knew Pandavas were the righteous people. And both Pandavas and Kauravas had great respect for Sanjaya here. So, and the one more thing is, what is the greatness of Divya Chakshu here? Here, Sanjaya was able to not only see what was happening on the battlefield, but he was able to feel the emotions that was going on in the people also. What was Arjuna thinking in his mind? What was the other people thinking in their mind? All these things he was able to recognize that because of those Divya Chakshus. And so even this, the Vishwarupa, he was able to see the cosmic form of Lord Krishna through the Divya Chakshu only. So, it says there, but of course, this Divya Chakshu was not permanent. It was temporarily given to him. It lasted only for 18 days until the war was over. And afterwards, Sanjaya did not have those special sight that he was able to. And it also said in one place that, even though he was sitting with Dhritarashtra in the palace, he was able to see every corner of the battlefield. He knew what was happening in every corner. It is not just what was happening between, the main people. It is not. He was able to see everything there. So how great those Divya Chakshu was there. So that is why here Sanjay is expressing his gratitude to Vedavyasji. Gurudev says, we also heard the running commentary from Sanjaya only. We did not actually hear what Lord Krishna was talking to Arjuna. Why? Because we are not fit for it. We are also blind, just like Dhritarashtra. We are blind with all our attachments and desires. And now you take the word Sanjaya. What does Sanjaya mean? So if you break it up, it becomes Sam plus Jaya. Jaya, we all know, victory, victorious. Sam means totally. So the one who is totally victorious over all his senses, all the karmendriyas and the gnanendriyas, that is Sanjaya. He is Sanjaya. So with this Divya Chakshu and a prepared mind, he could understand what Lord Krishna was telling Arjuna, that that message that Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna, which is Atma is Brahman. So Sanjaya is actually in Gurusthana. He alone could hear directly what Lord Krishna said to Arjuna. And we listen to Gita, what the running commentary of Sanjaya to Dhritarashtra. So it is just like, the great rishis, they heard the Veda mantras directly from that Supreme Lord. And then it was passed on to the students. Same way here, Sanjaya heard it directly from Lord Krishna, and he is giving the running commentary to Dhritarashtra, and that is what we heard also. Okay, and what did Sanjaya hear? It says, Etad Guhyam Param Yogam. So this Param Guhyam, this is, this supremely secret Yogam. Yogam is knowledge. So what is this one? This is knowledge that it's not like any other kinds of knowledge, but it is the knowledge of Brahma Vidya. That is why it is known as supreme knowledge here. This is the rarest of the teachings, and it is considered as Guhyam, secret and also sacred. And what is this yoga? Adi Shankaracharya says, the Shastra that talks about yoga is called yoga, is also called yoga. It's just like, a book, of any Upanishad. Okay, so the book whose subject matter is Upanishad, you call that book also Upanishad. So just like that one, the Shastra that talks about yoga is also called as yoga. And this yoga is Param, supreme, because it is capable of giving moksha, giving liberation to us. Swami Ranganathanandaji says, the essence of all the 18 chapters is given in that one word, yoga. And Shivananda Maharaj says, this dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna is called yoga because it leads to the attainment of oneness with Lord, that is liberation. And one point that Adi Shankaracharya makes it here is, this knowledge, is not passed down by parampara. It is not by Guru Parampara, but it was directly given by Sakshat, that Bhagavan himself. So Bhagavan himself talked about himself in this Bhagavad Gita. So he is the Lord of yogas. So that's why it says, Sakshat Yogeshwara Krishna Katayata Swayam. He himself told everything about himself. Now, who is this Yogeshwara? If you take this word Yogeshwara, it doesn't mean that he is the Lord of yogis. No, it is not. He is the Lord of yoga himself. That is Yogeshwara. And so Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba writes, what is Yogeshwara? Yogeshwara is one whose deeds are unselfish, who works for the welfare of the world, and who embodies the spirit of sacrifice. And God has been described as having 8 qualities. We have seen that verse before a couple of times. Who is Bhagavanta? Okay, so what is the 8 qualities? He is absolute, he is immaculate, he is ancient, he is eternal, he is spotless, he is wise, and he is unfettered and untainted. That Bhagavan himself. So Sanjaya says he heard directly from Krishna, from Lord Krishna. Who is Krishna? The etymology of Krishna is Karshana Krishna. The one who takes away the sorrows of the devotees is Krishna. So Katayata Swayam. Bhagavan himself said it. Katayata means it is not a simple talking, but a proper teaching that went on, that is known as Katayata. Katayata. So Vyasa Prasadat Shrutavan Etad Guhyamaham Param Yogam Yogeshwarat Krishnat Sakshat Katayata Swayam. And now continuing, Sanjaya says here, he's talking directly to Dhritarashtra now. So verse number 76 here. Rajan Samsrutya Samvadamimam Keshavarjunayoh Punyam Hrishyami cha muhuhu Hrishyami cha muhuhu Rajan Samsrutya Samvadamimam Adbhutam Keshavarjunayoh Punyam Hrishyami cha muhuhu.
Pushpaji, would you like to read? If Murliji, if you can put it on the screen again, that was helpful.
Yeah, 1 second.
You are muted, Amma Pushpaji.
We're going to put it on the screen.
Yeah, is it visible now?
Yes. Can you see that, Pushpaji?
She's saying it, but I don't think she's
Oh,
muted.
okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think you're still muted, Pushpaji. Do you know how to unmute?
Yeah, Gita, you can unmute.
Oh, don't tell me those things.
Oh, I think, can I do it from this screen?
No, we can't do it.
Oh,
Only the
okay.
host can do it.
Only the host can do it. Okay. Okay, that's okay. We'll just see. Umaji, would you like to read?
Whom did you call? Uma?
Mm-hmm.
Uma, can you read? Uma Kya?
Yeah. I'm going to.
Okay.
Rajan, O King,
Samsrutya,
Samsitya, having remembered, sir,
Samsrutya again.
having remembered, Samvade, the dialogue, Imam,
Imam,
this, Adbhut,
Adbhutam,
Adbhutam, wonderful.
Keshava,
Keshava,
Arjuna, Yoho.
Yogo, between Keshava and Arjuna,
Punyam,
Punyam, holy,
Hrishyami,
Rishami, rejoice, Cha, and
Muhuhu, Muhuhu.
again, Muhuhu again. O King, remembering this wonderful and holy dialogue between Keshava and Arjuna, I rejoice again and again.
Thank you. So, okay, actually, this spiritual experience gives us happiness that is more thrilling and more satisfying than all the material joys put together. In Taitra Upanishad, it's very, very beautifully said how much is the happiness, the joy of a liberated person. So he gives a big detailed, thing. It's more than this, it's more than this, it's more than this, there's more than this. So here Sanjaya is telling the same thing here. So Sanjaya is rejoicing in such happiness, and he's sharing his experience with the blind king Dhritarashtra here. So he addresses the king Rajan. So, O king, Samsrutya. So he says, I just cannot forget. Samsrutya means again and again and again. It comes back to me. It comes back as waves. It is coming in my memory, portion by portion. Because why all this is coming back? Because Sanjaya also listened to that whole of teaching with total attention, just like Arjuna did too. So that's why all the memories are coming back. And when it is a Samsrutya 2 times, it doesn't mean he remembered twice. Samsrutya here means again and again, he remembers that one. And what is it that Sanjaya is remembering? Imam Adbhutam Punyam Samvadam. Imam, this wonderful, sacred, Punyam dialogue, Samvadam between Keshava, Arjuna, Yoho, between Lord Krishna and Arjuna here. Here it says Punyam Samvadam. So what is Punyam? Punyam is Punatiti Punyam, that which purifies. That which purifies our mind. That is Punyam. And this Samvada, actually, Samvada, if you take the word Samvada also, Vada means argument. Samvada is not an argument. It is something where both are interested to see what the truth is. There is no argument here. So that's why this is known as Samvadam. Okay. And so it is not, you cannot call just a regular chit-chatting as Samvada, but it is Punyam Samvada, purifying dialogue. So Guruji says, this Samvada was actually devotionally charged discussion. So each one has great love and respect for the other. They're not trying to bring one down. Okay. And Adi Shankaracharya says, this conversation, is not that you have to understand. He makes it so, Adi Shankaracharya says, even if you just listen to it, okay, it removes the papam. Because it is punya samvadam here. And he writes that, Shravanena api papaharam shrutva. So even just by hearing, your papa is removed. And what is papa? That which causes bondage is called papa. And another definition that I had told you before about papa is that protects your ignorance. So here Bhagavan is telling, listening to this Bhagavad Gita, it actually removes the papa and it gives the liberation. Therefore, it is known as Punya Samvadam. Muhur muhuhu hushyami. So Sanjaya says, when I look back and think of my good fortune, I'm extremely ecstatic about that. And muhur muhuhu. And what is that? Adi Shankaracharya says pratikshanam. Every second he remembers that one. And again, you remember this Sanjaya started giving the commentary, running commentary only on the 10th day. For first 10 days, Dhritarashtra did not want to know what was happening because he was scared. So when Sanjaya came on the 10th day and told Dhritarashtra, O king, today the commander-in-chief of Kauravas, who is Bhishma Pitamaha, he fell. At that time, Dhritarashtra got curious and interested to know what happened in all those days before Bhishmacharya fell down. So that is when Sanjaya starts telling from the beginning, from the first day. Okay, so you can see even on the 10th day, he is still thinking about what he heard and what he saw. So 10 days have passed and still he is saying samsrutya samsrutya. His mind is rejoicing. Moment to moment, his heart is flooded with that joy. So Rajan samsrutya samsrutya samvada mimam adbhutam Keshavarjuna yoho punyam Hrishyamicha muhur muhuhu. So, Gurudev's commentary is very, very beautiful. So you might want to read that, the whole commentary that he has given. Now, continuing. So first here, what was the high points in Bhagavad Gita? One was Vishwarupa Darshana, and that Vishwarupa Darshana was not two-dimensional or three-dimensional, but it was multi-dimensional and could not be seen with ordinary eyes. So the Arjuna and also Sanjaya both needed that Divya Chakshu. And the other high point in Bhagavad Gita is Gitopadesha. And in the previous verse, Adi Shankaracharya mentioned even hearing to this Gitopadesha, that would destroy all the sins. So now in this next verse 77, Sanjaya speaks of that Vishwarupa that he saw, that was revealed in the 11th chapter, which he is remembering again and again. So let us see the verse number 77. Tacha samsrutya samsrutya Tacha samsrutya samsrutya Rupamatyadbhutam harehe Rupamatyadbhutam harehe Vismayo me mahan rajan Vismayo me maharajan Hrishyami cha punah punah Hrishyami cha punah punah Tacha samsrutya samsrutya Rupamatyadbhutam harehe Vismayo me mahan rajan Hrishyami cha punah punah.
I can read that one. That, cha, and Sansmritya, remembering repeatedly, Rupam, cosmic form, Ati, most, Adbhutam, wonderful, Hare, of Lord Krishna, Vishmaya, astonishment, Me, my, Mahan, great, Rajan, king, Rishami, I am thrilled with joy, Cha, and Punaha, punaha, over and over. And remembering that most astonishing and wonderful cosmic form of Lord Krishna, great is my astonishment and I am thrilled with joy over and over again. This might be slightly different on the reading part of that, but I think
It's okay, together for the same meaning.
pretty close, yeah.
It's okay. That's good. Thank you, Nisha. So here, Tacha samsrutya samsrutya. Tacha means tat cha. That means and that. And what is that? That picture. Samsrutya, again and again, it comes to my mind. What picture that Sanjay is talking about? Harehe Adbhutam Rupam. What is it that strikes my mind? What is well etched on my mind? Or you can say that extremely wonderful, breathtaking, mind-blowing form of Lord as the totality of this universe. That is the divine cosmic form, the Vishwarupa of Hari, the Lord, that limitless one. So that is the picture that he is talking about. So Sanjaya says, when I think of that wondrous form, okay, I am wonderstruck. Mahan Vismaya me. I am overwhelmed and I am stupefied, and that wonderment does not leave me at all. Vismaya means Ascharya. And I had told you what is Ascharya in the last class. Ascharya is that which you cannot express in words. The only thing that comes out of your word is ah, ah. So aha charati iti Ascharya. So here also, Sanjay is not able to express what he is feeling. That Ascharya, that wondrous picture, wondrous form of Bhagavan that he saw. But you remember, Arjuna got frightened by seeing that form, but Sanjaya was not frightened. He kept that form in his heart. And then Sanjaya says, Rajan Prushyamicha Puna Punaha. So, O king, I bring that vision to my mind again and again, and I enjoy it again and again. So, how many wonderful forms was there in this Bhagavad Gita? There was only two. One was this Vishwarupa, and the other is Lord Krishna as the charioteer of Arjuna, holding the reins in his hand. So that Lord of the universe, that Bhagavan, because of the love for his devotee, he forgot his Ishwaratva also, and he becomes the charioteer. So Tacha Samsrutya Rupa Matyadbhutam Harehe Vismayo me Mahan Rajan Pushyamicha Punah Panaha. So here, just one point, I'm sure everybody knows this one. Here, the teaching that Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna, it was not like in chapters. He did not say, okay, here I end the Karma Yoga. This is the third chapter. He did not say that one. But Veda Vyasji, he has compiled the teaching and then divided them into chapters for easy communication. That's all it is. Now to the last verse of Bhagavad Gita here. And Sanjaya is telling, what is it that he has understood from this whole Bhagavad Gita? Beautiful verse. This is my favorite verse. Okay. Apart from that Sarva Dharman Parityajya, and this is my the second favorite verse. This I chant almost every day, at least about 10, 12 times.
Gita ji, can I make a request then, since we are at the last chapter and this is your favorite verse? Can you read this one then?
Okay, I don't have my book in front of me, to be honest with
You
you.
can put it down.
Murli can, he can, okay. Let us chant this sloka and then I will read it. Thank you, Nisha. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrirvijayo Bhutihi, Tatra Shrirvijayo Bhutihi, Dhruvani Tirmatirmama, Dhruvani Tirmatirmama, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishnaha, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shrirvijayo Bhutihi, Dhruvani Tirmatirmama. Okay, yatra, wherever, Yogeshwaraha, the Lord of Yoga, who is Krishna, yatra, wherever, Partha, Partha, that is Arjuna, Dhanurdharaha, the archer, Tatra, there, Shrihi, prosperity, Vijayaha, victory, Bhutihi, expansion, Dhruva, firm, steady and sound, Nitihi, policy, Matihi, conviction, Mama, my. Wherever is Krishna, the Lord of Yoga, wherever is Partha, the archer, there are prosperity, victory, happiness, and firm, steady or sound policy. This is my conviction. And I would add, this is my firm conviction. Okay. So, I told you this one I chant so many times each day. So for me, this is my secret I'm telling you my secret here. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, where that Lord is, and where that Partho Dhanurdhara, that Arjuna is. For me, Sri Satya Sai Baba is that Krishna, that Bhagavan. And my Guruji is that Partha. And where my Guru and God is there has to be all the time Vijaya and Shri. And so this is what, for me, this is how I have made this shloka to mean to me. Okay. And so I shared my secret with you now. For me, Sri Satya Sai Baba is everything. And Guruji is my Guru who has given me this knowledge. And where my Guru and my God is there, I had talked to you about 2 G's. This is what Guruji also told me. Wherever these 2 G's are there is always success. And that is the grace of Guru, 1 G, and grace of God, the 2nd G. 2 G's. Okay. Now let's go and see the explanation of this verse. So here, Swami Ranganathanandaji writes, wherever, I'm sorry, it is not Swami Ranganathanandaji, it is Swami Paramarthanandaji. He says in his lecture, wherever Krishna is there, as the Gita Charya, as the Brahma Vidya Guru, as the teacher of Vedanta, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, and Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, where that Partha, Arjuna is there, wielding is Dhanu, the bow, and wherever such a student and a teacher are there, that Gita wisdom will be there. It will never die. And Gurudev says, what is Yatra? He says, there where is dynamic human personality, supported by all the moral, ethical values, and has learned the art of rising above physical, petty, paltry, egocentric, selfish desires, such an individual or individuals are there in a community, there, tatra, Shri Vijayor Bhutihi Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Shri, that is true prosperity. It is not just mere, the wealth, what we call the riches, okay, the money and all that. But what is the wealth for a king? Because here, it is the Kshatriyas who are fighting. So, what is the wealth for a king? It is the Rajya Lakshmi. Wealth Rajya Lakshmi. And how will this Rajya Lakshmi comes? Through Vijaya, through victory, through success. And Bhuti, continued prosperity. It is not like, comes and goes, but it is a continuous. It is an expansion, as the word meaning said. There is that expansion, and that power that you receive is expanded. So that means the wealth is multiplied here. And Swami Ranganathanandaji translates this word bhuti as welfare. Welfare everywhere. And with the Shri and Vijaya, and there is Niti also. Niti is justice and or what you call fairness. So all these three things will be there, and not just for a short time. As I said, Bhuti, it is for ever. And Sanjaya says, Dhruva Matir Mama. This is my firm conviction. This is my conviction which never changes also. So where Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the Yogeshwara, and Dhanurdhari Arjuna, both of them are there, there alone is Shrihi, Vijayaha, and Nitihi are there. That means what? Where they are not, where Krishna and Arjuna are not there, there is no Shri, there is no Vijaya, and there is no Niti also. So where it is not there? On the Kaurava side. So here you see why is Sanjay is saying this one. So he is, he cannot command the war to be stopped or anything like that. He's a mere loyal servant of Dhritarashtra. But Dhritarashtra has this power. Even now, on the 10th day, even when Bhishmacharya has fallen down, he can still say, okay, no more war. And so that's why he's telling on Pandava's side, there is this Lord Krishna and there is this Arjuna. And there all this Shri and Vijaya and Niti is going to be. Vijaya, the victory will be on that side. And on Kaurava's side, it is not there. So very subtly, he is telling Sanjaya. And so, and also, the way he is saying on the battlefield, that Yogeshwar Krishna is there. And also that Arjuna, how he is Dhanurdhari. He had dropped his bow and arrow on the floor of the chariot. And he said, Na yotse, I'm not going to fight. But now that same Arjuna, he has picked up that bow and arrow and he has said, Karishyam Vachanam Tava. I will do your bidding. So that is why this Vijaya and wealth, the Shri and Niti is going to be there. So, but, Dhritarashtra does not understand, but he does not do anything. So here, Yogeshwara Krishna represent spiritual knowledge, that holistic vision and the divinity, and Dhanurdhara Partha represents a man of action, dexterity, ability. And when these two are there, then there is Shri, Vijaya and Nitihi. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shri Vijayor Bhutihi, Dhruva Niti Matirmana. So this statement of Sanjaya, it can be viewed from three standpoints also. So if you take this one literally, we can see that Sanjaya was subtly informing Dhritarashtra what was going to happen here. And if you take this statement from the standpoint of our duty, this shloka can be interpreted as, regardless of how much time and effort you put into any action, we cannot succeed. We are not assured of any total success. Then what is it? How do you get the total success? It is only determined through the grace of Lord and also our self-effort. Both has to be there. And if you, from the absolute standpoint, the liberation from bondage, this what Sanjaya is saying here is realizing our true self. Even that is not possible purely on our own effort. So selfless devotion, selfless karma yoga, devoted service to that Ishvara, then only you are going to get that grace and our spiritual journey will progress and reach the goal there. So now what is the message of this Bhagavad Gita? So if you see the very first word of the Bhagavad Gita, it started as Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre. So the first word of Bhagavad Gita is Dharma. And what is the last word? Nitir Matir Mama. Mama is the last word. So Dharma and Mama. So the message of Bhagavad Gita is contained within these two words. Mama Dharma. What is Dharma? Dharma is my duties, my kartavya. And also Dharma also means what is my essential nature. And what is my essential nature? It is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupa. But not this body, mind and intellect complex. Same way, so here it is teaching, the whole Bhagavad Gita is telling what is my dharma. That is the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. And some say this Bhagavad Gita started with Dharma Kshetre Kuru Kshetre. So that means Kshetre Kshetre Dharmam Kuru. So in every activity, in every field, you throughout your entire life, live the life of dharma. Live the life of righteousness. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, what is the message of this Bhagavad Gita? It is Tagi. Tagi means Tyaga. He would say, if you keep repeating the word Gita, 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 it becomes Tyaga, 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 Tyaga. Just like that Dakait Ratnakar, he chanting Rama, 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 it became Rama, Rama, Rama. So this is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Shri Vijayor Bhuti, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. So here ends with Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade Moksha Sannyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadasho Dhyayaha. Om Tat Sat. As it was said in the 17th chapter, these three words, Om, Tat and Sat, they indicate Brahman, that Paramatma. So we remember him first, Om Tat Sat. And then Iti, thus, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is Upanishatsu. So Bhagavad Gita actually enjoys the status of Upanishads, where Brahma Vidyaya, the knowledge of Brahman is revealed. Yoga Shastra, it is called Yoga Shastra because it gives wonderful methods, sadhanas, the means to practice and realize the truth and live a life of Jivan Mukta. Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, it is a dialogue between Shri Krishna and Arjuna, that is Guru and Shishya. And this Moksha Sannyasa Yogo Nama Ashtadasho Dhyayaha. This is the 18th chapter called the Yoga of Liberation by Renunciation through Sannyasa. And Guruji says, when it says Moksha Sannyasa, means renouncing moksha also. So in Sri Ramcharitmanas, that famous the chaupai that Bharatji says there, Arthana Dharmana Kamaruchi Gatina Chahu Nirvan Janma Janma Rati Ramapada Yahavaradhanana An. So Bharata says, I don't want any moksha also. What I want is the love for the feet of Sri Ramchandraji. So here, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we should also develop love for Lord Krishna. So Adi Shankaracharya also had said, during the 3rd chapter, Karma Yoga, he had said, you should not have desire even for moksha. there also. So Guruji says Bhagavad Gita, and in the end, Guruji says this Bhagavad Gita is not like reading a newspaper. You read it and keep it aside. But this Gita Shastra is meant for reading again and again. And so how do we do that one? We have to start from the first verse. So we will finish this one with reading the first verse here. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. Okay. So I'm very happy that we finished all the 18 chapters. Even though it took us a long time to finish, but we finished because of the grace of our Guru. So we have to say Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. I bow down to our Gurus, Gurudev and Tejomanda Swamiji, and also my Bhagavan. So here we finished the Bhagavad Gita. But as I had said, without reading the Palashruti, okay, then it is incomplete. One time, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji from Miami, I had asked him, do we have to read the Palashruti? Because we are not interested in that Palashruti. What is it that is going to give us? We are interested because in what it tells and how I can apply that knowledge in our life. But the Swamiji said, if you don't read the Palashruti, it is incomplete. It is halfway through. It's just like, when we do the Archana and when we say Om Shri Ramaya Namaha, and you take away Om, you just say Ramaya Namaha. But Om is the one that gives actually that power to that Nama. So then it is full. Om Shri Ramaya Namaha. Here, studying the Bhagavad Gita and not knowing the Palashruti, it is done halfway only. So we have to see the Palashruti. To be honest with you, the last batch that I finished the Bhagavad Gita, I did not do the Palashruti, and it was bothering me. So there is no commentary that is given on Palashruti anywhere. And most of the Bhagavad Gita books also doesn't have this Palashruti verses also. But some of the books have it. So my Kannada book, this has the Palashruti verses. And how many verses is that Palashruti? Actually, it is 23 verses. So what I will do is, I'm going to talk to you about this Palashruti in our next class. So don't think we are finished with our Bhagavad Gita class.
Good.
We'll have 2 more classes, at least 2 more classes. In the
Okay.
next class, I will try to finish the Palashruti, and then I want to talk to you about how to put this Gita in daily life. And then we will see whatever Bhagavan has in his what he wants me to do, that's what I'll be doing. So we will see, at least in the next 2 classes, we will have the classes. Okay? So we'll stop here. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om, Gita ji.
Hari